So, how did this become this? It all started when John and Joanne got married in 1992. After being married for 10 years, they decided to have their first child. After 27 hours of labor, Joanne gave birth to an almost 9-pound baby on November 4th, 2001. They named her Jordan.
When you were born, we didn't know if we're having a boy or a girl, so that was a surprise to be told. And actually how I heard it was your mother went in for a C-section and they put her under anesthesia, so I couldn't go in. So I was standing outside the room when, I don't recall if I heard you cry or if I heard the doctor say, "It's a girl, congratulations, Daddy." So that was my first introduction to you, was outside in the hallway. But then to be the first one to give you your bath as a little kid, and I made fun of your head, was the shape of a football, and we have pictures for that, and that's what I introduced your mother to you, as you're the one with the football shaped head.
I was quite a strange looking infant. I didn't have a neck, and I resembled an old cranky man, but I was a very happy, chubby Cabbage Patch Kid. For my parents, I became the center of their lives.
Another memory big was your first trip to Disney World. I think it was Bear in the Big Blue House. You were probably less than 2, because some people criticized us. Why would you bring her? She's not going to remember it. But I said, but we would. And you're 19 now, so this many years later, I can still remember. It was Bear in the Big Blue House. You're sitting on the floor in front of your mother, and Nana was next to her. And when the bear came up on the stage, you started to cry, so your mother started to cry, so Nana started to cry. When we sat, I think you were on my shoulders, and the parade came by, and when you first saw the parade people, your body was so rigid because you were so excited you didn't know what to do. So, I mean, it's a great memory. So it was well worth going there, even though you don't remember it. Again, I'll remember it forever.
We also visited the Sesame Street theme park many times throughout my childhood. My mom loved to dress me up in cute outfits and costumes, especially for the holidays. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, Joseph and Joanne. Nana has always been my best friend. She's been my #1 cheerleader since the beginning.
Well, when you asked me to think of my favorite shot of you, immediately what came to mind was one day at our swimming pool at our other house. And it was so cute because you had your little favorite denim dress on. You were so brave. You were so brave. Nana, I want to jump in the pool. I said, okay, honey, you jump in my arms. So you got up there and you stood there, and I was looking at you and you're looking down at me so serious, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. All of a sudden, you let go and you jumped right in my arms. I thought, oh man, this is so cool. And you were so proud of yourself. So you get off and you go by the steps and you go over and go. Well, you must have done it 20 times. You were so proud of yourself. You were just going to be an Olympic champion swimming.
And Pop has always pushed me to do my best and never give up. From a young age, he taught me how to be strong and stand for what I believe in.
When you were like the most proud of me, or
Oh.
your favorite memory?
Most proud of you is almost every day.
Oh, and another thing I remember that you and Kolya got into was, Nana, here, have a sweet tart. Oh, okay, honey. Okay, honey. Gee, I love sweet tarts. Here. And you gave me the most sour thing up. I can taste it to this day.
Yep.
This most sour piece of candy, and you guys thought that was so funny. I could have had a heart attack and dropped over it.
Well, yeah, obviously
Dying
didn't.
of sweet. Yeah, what'd she die from? Sweet tarts.
Yeah.
That's what killed
You
her.
obviously didn't.
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago.
Right.
My cousin Kolya and I were born about 16 months apart. We grew up together through the early years and spent a lot of time with Nana.
And then driving in the car, and you always I made you sit in the back seat. I always locked the windows, but then you'd slip your hand up and unlock the window, and all the breeze would be coming in. All the breeze would be coming in. Oh, and another little thing. See the stuff I have? And this. You remember making me this?
Vaguely.
You made this for me. We even have your name on it. Well, I wouldn't, not that I didn't put the date, I just put your name, but I would remember. I remember that. I take this out every year. And then I fill it with Fireball.
Of course you do. Not surprised.
Throughout my childhood, my birthday was a pretty big deal. Both sides of the family would gather at our house and celebrate, often resulting in most gathered around the family room TV watching a Ravens game. My mother made the dessert for my birthday party almost every year. I got to pick everything about it, like the theme and the flavor. Birthdays have always meant a lot to me because of how special my family made me feel for mine.
If I would have to pick my favorite when you were younger, it was spying on you when you'd be in the office dancing to Hannah Montana songs. Because you'd be doing all the shoulder and the hands, and you'd be singing your heart out, and I'd be just spying on you, and you had no cares in the world. You just were the happiest singing and dancing.
In 2009, my mom gave birth to my younger brother, Joshua. It was quite a shock not being an only child anymore. Now that my mother had Joshua, I couldn't be homeschooled anymore, so my parents enrolled me in a private school. I later joined the girls' basketball team, and we won the championship my first year. I also joined volleyball once I entered high school. Around the same time, I also enrolled in a martial arts class, which would eventually change my life forever. As I got older, I grew very independent. I became busy with school, sports, and martial arts. I also received my black belt when I was 13 and began leading classes for younger students after.
The other one is this picture I have here of you. You were an aspiring singer and guitar player.
Yep.
Well, as the years went on, is this picture. This picture. And you were so cute. You just got up there, you got the little ukulele, you put the hat on, and you started singing on our fireplace. Yeah, we're singing and playing and singing and playing, and you were so happy. That's what you wanted to do.
Yep.
Well, then later on in years, as it turned out, the church we were going to needed somebody to sing. So you thought, I think I can do this. And you sent me a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tape of you singing just a cappella. It was absolutely beautiful. So later on, Pop was playing for Celebrate Recovery, and they needed a singer. So they asked you to sing, and there you got up. But you got up there and you sang for a couple of years. And so that was funny because that was the beginning of your career.
Well, I was very proud of you when you got on stage with the worship team and we played together. I mean, that was like the first time at Mountain Christian that anybody was able to do that. A grandfather and a granddaughter on the stage at the same time. So we made history.
I soon joined my school's choir and drama company.
It would have to be about your license. First, when you didn't pass, and then got mad at me. But it was cute because it was like we were in shock, and then when you actually passed, and that immediately, and then when you, that picture I have of you with you throw your hands up, you're another pure joy moment. And then you hugged me so hard. It was just pure joy. You've always been good at everything you try. So it was interesting to see, wait, that didn't go well. Well, wait, this was perfect. And you were like, oh. It was the same thing when you would knock the boards with karate. You'd be like, oh, I did it.
During the summer before my senior year, we went on a cruise to Alaska and Canada. It opened my eyes to how big the world really is. And before I knew it, I was graduating high school. I was the only female student in my class, and it was quite an experience. But I honestly wouldn't trade it for anything.
You know what I'm most proud of with you? We can talk about those other things, but your work ethics, phenomenal. It's got to come from the Melizia side of the family, but don't show this to your father. No, he's a worker too. But your work ethic is fantastic. You know, you want to go to school, you get good marks. You did DoorDash when you had nothing else to do, so that impressed me very much. Your brains, of course. Your personality, of course. But overall, you're a good, sweet kid.
And then my life at Towson University began. I worked at a local summer camp for all of high school and into college. It taught me what my strengths and weaknesses are as a teacher, and what I needed to focus on before I was in charge of a whole classroom. Recently, I was admitted to Johns Hopkins Hospital for severe health issues, where I had my gallbladder removed. Once I was back in classes, I was asked to serve in Towson's Student Government Association as the Assistant Director of Academic Affairs. I'm ready for what life has in store for me. I have so much to do, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds.